Chapter number 2. Everything is energy. Open quote. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. End quote. Daryl Anka. During my final years working as an engineer, I worked in jobs and around people who were just negative. I interviewed with the owner of this one company, and during the interview the owner said to me, "I hope you stay with us." That was an interesting thing to say in the first interview, I thought, but we had a mortgage and bills to pay, and I was in between jobs and desperate, so I took the job anyway. I needed money coming in right away. On Monday afternoon of my first week of work with this new company, the owner had a temper tantrum. During a conference call, he started yelling at the person on the phone and throwing erasers and pens across the room. The next morning, the owner was in a good mood. He saw me in the office and gave me a high five. This guy's a nut job, I thought. His motions are all over the place. 1 minute he's your best friend, and an hour later he's at war with you. After a couple of days of working there, I noticed he would yell at his employees regularly too. As I was working very closely with him, this really made me reconsider working there. By Thursday of the next week, I had reached my tipping point. The owner was on a construction site, and he phoned me about an estimate from a concrete supplier. He said, "Did you get the estimate?" And when I replied no, he lost it. He started swearing in Italian and going off the handle. This guy is crazy, I thought. I'm thinking, that's it, I'm out of here. Later that evening, I wrote my resignation letter. The very next day, I had my letter of resignation in hand and ready to go. I walked straight up to the human resources manager and gave her my letter, the keys to the brand new pickup they've bought me, the laptop they'd given me, and the phone, and said, "It's just not working out." The manager said, "Is it him? Is it because of the owner?" And I'm like, "Yep, it's him." As I was leaving the office, a project administrator I had been working with came up to me and said, "I can't believe you're doing this. I would leave, but I have rent and bills to pay. Good for you." That's when I told her, nobody deserves to be treated this way. Besides, I know I can find somewhere else to work that appreciates and values the work I do. She gave me a big hug, and I left the office. I drove off with no job prospects and a ton of bills to pay, but feeling like $1,000,000. I had this huge sense of relief, like a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. As an engineer, I worked in places with negative vibrations that would affect my state of being. Because of that, I had to learn ways to not only protect myself, but also how to avoid these types of people and set boundaries. What I also found in my experience working with other people is that you don't necessarily have to be around these people physically for them to affect you. You can be on the phone with them, on another continent, or even just texting them. You can be thousands of miles away and still be affected by their energy. So that got me really curious about how this all worked. Were we really all connected? Was there really a field of intention that preceded the creation of all forms of matter? Quantum entanglement. Everything's energy and everything's connected. All around us and within us there is a field of intention that you can influence to create your world. The concept of quantum entanglement provides us with some clues. This theory in quantum mechanics states that when you do something to one of a pair of entangled particles, it instantly affects the properties of the other, no matter how far away the other is. This connection at a distance is what Einstein referred to as spooky action at a distance. Known in quantum physics as non-local communication, it basically means that we are constantly communicating through this field of intention with all matter non-locally. Quantum entanglement collapses all physical reality into a single reality, meaning there is no separation between objects, it's all one reality. Open quote. The new biology reveals that the invisible forces that we collectively refer to as mind form a field which shapes our biology. End quote. Dr. Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief. An example of this is when your vibration entangles with another person's vibration. What results is a new frequency or energetic state. Let's say you go through your meditation, you do your affirmations, and you start your day feeling great. You could generally be a happy person, but as soon as you bump into someone who's in a generally negative state, lower vibration, your energy becomes entangled with that person. That entanglement leaves you feeling a little less than joyful. You might begin to have negative thoughts or start worrying about something that hasn't bothered you for weeks or even years. This is entanglement in action. Once you entangle your vibration with someone else, you either pick up on the energy of that lower vibration, which you can bring you down, or they pick up on your higher vibration, making them generally feel better or even inspired. Here's the general rule. The degree of the intensity of the higher of the two vibrations will always win. This means that the energy that's more intense, either positive or negative, becomes the more dominant vibration. Your vibration is what creates your reality. There are trillions of cells in your body that oscillate, and that vibration emits a frequency. Open quote. Quantum physics discovered that physical atoms are made up of vortices of energy that are constantly spinning and vibrating. Each atom is like a wobbly spinning top that radiates energy. End quote. Dr. Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief. The possibilities, the opportunities, and the paths that show up in your life are always driven by these frequencies and vibrations. This field is what precedes matter. Change the field, and you change the matter. Here's another way to look at this. Let's say you're having a great day. It might be Friday, and you're excited about the weekend. Because you're generally feeling good, you could say that you're at a frequency of vibration of 5 hertz. The number's arbitrary, but the concept is what matters most. Later that day, you decide to meet with a friend at a coffee shop who's in a denser vibration of, say, 2 hertz. They are in a complaining mode and even a bit angry at the world, and they want to tell you all about it. If the intensity of the lower vibration, let's say 2 hertz, of your friend is higher than your positive vibration, 5 hertz, once you entangle with them, your energetic state is going to change. You pick up on their vibration and feelings, and when you walk out of the coffee shop, you're going to feel like a different person. Maybe now you're at 3 hertz because your frequency has dropped. You don't feel as inspired as you did before you met with your friend. You've completely shifted into a lower vibration, and you can feel the difference. So what can we do in these situations? The first thing is to realize that quantum entanglement is a real phenomenon. You are constantly shifting and changing your vibration based on the people you surround yourself with and with the places you go. The second thing is to embrace that all people are different. Some people are just angry at the world. Some people don't want to change. That's okay. Don't try to change them. Just let them be. The more you try to change them, the angrier they get. They might not even know what to do if they didn't have something to complain about. Let them be. It's not your job to change them. No doubt you've met people like this. Years ago in my 20s, I had a buddy who would always call me and complain about his girlfriend. There was constant complaining, something new for him to complain about. If it wasn't his girlfriend, he would call to complain about his job. Finally, one day I said to him, "Dude, if you keep calling me and complaining every time you call, I'm not going to want to talk with you anymore. Why don't you call and tell me about what's working in your life?" Guess what? He literally stopped calling me. I wasn't going to put up with his negativity anymore, and he wasn't ready to change. He got it, and that was that. After that, we kind of just went our separate ways. But it's not just with other people. We get entangled with places too. I love the beach and the sun. Every time I go to the ocean, I get into this very deeply relaxed state. When we were living in Florida last year, my wife and I would go to the beach to chill out and enjoy nature. The dolphins, the turtles, the birds, and the seemingly endless ocean. If I had any stress or was worried about something, then without fail, going to the beach just melted all those feelings away. I'm sure you have places where you feel that too. That's quantum entanglement in action. You're literally entangling with the energy of a given place. Maybe you like to hike in nature because it makes you feel at peace. You're picking up on the vibrations of that place. You feel the difference on a cellular level. The fields in nature. It's not just feelings you get, it's new information as well. One of my favorite illustrations of quantum entanglement is from the sea turtle episode in the Planet Earth documentary series. The sea turtle is born on a beach on the coast of India and leaves to travel thousands of miles across the ocean. Many years later, when the sea turtle is an adult and looking for a place to lay her eggs, she returns to the exact same beach in the exact same spot where she was born to nest her eggs. Her inner compass that guided her back to her place of birth is another form of quantum entanglement. This is because there is an exchange of information that is invisible, that spooky action at a distance that Einstein spoke about. It's as if Mother Earth is secretly whispering, "Go this way," to the sea turtle. That's what I mean when I say everything is connected. Once you realize that you're connected to all places and all people by the same quantum force, you begin to value and set boundaries of what you will and won't accept in your environment. Thanks for listening to this free sample of the 7-day manifestation experiment, how you can create the life of your dreams. If you'd like to order the book, you can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or on Audible in the description in the links below. Thanks again for listening. My name's Steve, and we'll talk to you next time.